All right, now to the war in Ukraine. This morning, the country's government repeated an urgent call for Western allies to send modern tanks to help fight the Russians. And as U.S. and NATO officials discuss the request, Ukrainians continue to fight and die on the front lines. And that's where we find Debora Patta alongside soldiers who are battling the invaders and the weather.
Along freezing, muddy roads, we were taken to an undisclosed location on the front line, not far from the Russian border, to meet the men of the Bugan Special Forces Brigade. Look up and you see a typical Ukrainian pine forest, but down below, cut into the iron-hard earth, is a warren of fortifications.
It's one thing to take back territory, but Ukraine also has to defend it, which is why there are trenches along hundreds of miles of the front line where soldiers are battling the elements: mud, rain, extreme cold.
Ukrainian forces are bracing themselves for the coldest weeks of winter.
It's very warm in here.
Underground, a wood fire keeps the men from freezing. There are warm beds, hot food and drinks. It's not so hard. You can get used to any harsh conditions, Major Chekan told us. What you don't get used to, he said, are the deaths of civilians. The commander and his men have been involved in some of the bloodiest fighting in the country's east, where Ukrainian soldiers are digging in across swaths of ground to defend against Russian counter-offensives.
You're building a whole lot of new trenches.
Self-building.
You building? Is it difficult to build trenches when the ground is frozen?
Важко.
It's very difficult, he said. It's rock-solid ice with constant rain and snow. You can build all the trenches you want, Chekan told us, but more heavy weapons is the quickest way to win the war against Russia.
And that's why the U.S. decision to send fighting vehicles and missile defense systems has been welcomed here on the battlefield, Tony.
Debora Patta for us in Ukraine on the front lines. Debora, thank you very much.